It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll watch Deontay Foreman. He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown game. It's the Bears and the Saints, and it comes your way next.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We are all set to go, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in after tasting defeat for the first time in about a month as their loss snapped a 4-game winning streak. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here come the Saints to take over for the first time. And here's the new man under center after 9 seasons as a Raider. Derek Carr is the guy.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. You look at this Bears defense. This crew against the pass, it's been a real struggle. Second from the bottom in the NFL, number 31.
Theories abound. People have opinions. But too often for this team this season, it's been the big play that's done them in.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, what's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 7.
Now Carr. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
You look at this Bears defense.
They've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Here's Blake Gillikin now.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Taking it about the 16. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here to Komet.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Foreman will try to pick it up. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They run it on first with Foreman.
Nice little juke. The trolley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Foreman. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Fields now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Santos' kick is up and through.
And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. 3 and 5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5 and 5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3 and 6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
In motion right is Smith.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
Stopped on the play by Jaquan Brisker.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd down, here's Carr.
There's Chris Olave. He's into space past the 25.
And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 9, 2nd and 5.
To throw, it's Carr.
Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau.
The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Williams will score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
You think back to 2022 with Detroit, Jamal Williams just unstoppable down near the goal line. 17 rushing touchdowns, 13 of those were from 2 yards or less. He's just an absolute battering ram down in this part of the field, and he finishes off another drive in the end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. But Deontay Foreman and his offense back out there.
So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now a give to Foreman.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
The Bears coming in looking for win number 6 on the year. And they've been playing well, really well. I mean, winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out.
And it always hurts when you lose a tight game, as they did a week ago. I think each player starts thinking to himself, if I could have played better one play here, one play there, maybe it could have changed this team's fortunes. But it absolutely illustrates how important it is to play a complete game if you want to win in the NFL.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 27-yard line.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Foreman takes it, headed right.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
D'Onta Foreman with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears have regained the lead. And that run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished off by D'Onta Foreman on the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Fields.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
Here's Foreman. Shoves him aside. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
147 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now Foreman. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
From the 29, here's the 2nd down and 4. Now it's Fields.
Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. But the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Here we go.
A carry for Foreman. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Touchdown, Bears! Cole Kmet, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Bears are able to add on to that lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage,
He knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Now the point after try for Santos. It's good to make it 17-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was all capped off by Cole Kmet with a touchdown catch. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10.
What now?
On play action, it's Carr. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Carr. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 8.
Again, it's Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
On the draw, here's Foreman. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, a run with Herbert.
They juked him. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Khalil Herbert.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Santos now to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
62 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that second level and third, and that's what they were able to exploit.
On play action, now Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now Carr.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 34-yard line. Carr going to throw. This is Smith with a grab. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Carr again. That is incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been played at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara from 8 yards out. And the Saints get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And he will not bring it out. He'll just go down to a knee here for a touchback, and the ball will come out to the 25. Deontay Foreman and his offense back out there. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Fields. Right side, Claypool's got it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
That'll be caught by Foreman.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up second down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
working with a 2nd and 3. Now Fields. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And they're drawing close to halftime with the Vikings out on top. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they trail the visiting Buccaneers as that game has gone to the half. Mike Evans, a touchdown catch in that first half. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. Aaron Jones has a touchdown on the ground.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Khalil Herbert to return it from his end zone. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
That's complete right side to Kmet. And he will have the Bears first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Looking to throw on second down, Fields. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down, because that leaves them third and short, third and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Foreman's going to get it again on 2nd down.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
14 yards and a Chicago 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On 1st down, right back to Herbert.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line.
Really nice effort and an even nicer stop from Marcus May there.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown.
Chase Claypool
from 21 yards away.
And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Kamara.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Carr to throw on 2nd down.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Fielded at the 20. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've got the lead here as they begin this drive, trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth from the loss last week to the LA Chargers. Starting on the ground with Herbert. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
A shotgun snap, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Herbert powering up the middle.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Moore, the motion man right. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
That one good for 26 and a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Slot man moves right.
They'll go again with Herbert.
On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
To throw is Fields.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Throwing on third down, Fields.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. DJ Moore, a 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10.
Now Carr. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half, and for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out, and as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Now the point after try for Santos. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On second down, here's Carr.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
10 yards, good for a Saints first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On first down, Carr. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing now is Carr. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 39. A good pickup there, a 22.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
Tackle made by Rasheem Green. .38-yard line, 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Carr. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Saints on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Carr now to throw. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Bears will get the football back. The D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Herbert to start the drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Moore, the motion man right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. Gets around him. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 75 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Herbert once more.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr.
Olave hauls it in.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now
And all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down. Play action. Now it's Carr. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On play action, it's Carr. And able to complete it to Moreau. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 39. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Carr. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw is Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with...
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead drops from 34 to 27. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth.
Don't jump. Ready?
And they will take a knee here.
Here we go, son.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And they take a knee.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.